Hello everybody and welcome back to another tutorial on this beautiful machine, the Rc505 Mark II. Today we're going to be doing just ways to process your percussion and get them sounding good, and I'm going to give you a couple of different options. I personally like to do an entire effects bank just devoted to my percussion, and I put mine on A. Whenever I'm doing anything, if I know I need to record any kind of drum or cymbal or anything, or any like squeak sound or anything like that, I can just go over to A and I'm good. It's mixed, it's done properly. I have 3 different examples of these, and down here I have the same beat with the same sounds, just recorded with each different kind of processing. So you can kind of hear the difference between them, see what you like about them, see what you don't. So let's start with the first one. On this first one, we have distortion into dynamics, which is on low boost, into a high pass filter, and then into reverb. So the purpose of this is the distortion is set on overdrive with a distortion of 40, and I have a 129 mix. Not 129, this one's 100, and this one is 29. And that's just to, you get the whole dry signal. We're adding in a tiny bit of the distorted signal, and the distorted signal isn't even really that distorted. It's just kind of boosted. It makes for nice, clear high ends. You get really crispy, nice, sparkly hi-hats and cymbals and stuff like that. On B, we have dynamics, which is on low boost and +8. This applies compression and equalization. It really boosts your low end, and it's the key to kicks in this particular little setup. On C, we have a high-pass filter. This has 0 resonance and 0 rate, so it's not moving, and it's not contributing any extra sound. It's only taking away, and has a cutoff of 25. This sits in a spot where it cuts all the bass, like the low bass that you don't want coming through, and some of the low mid, but it leaves all of the high mid and highs, which is what you want for your snares and your cymbals, and you kind of want to separate your bass from everything else, and this will let you do that. Behind that, we have a reverb. This doesn't matter, set to taste, just whatever suits the track. So the idea is for this to kind of have like 2 different modes, and it kind of has like bass mode and snares, hi-hats, and everything else mode. So how you record this, you just have A and B working when you want to do anything bass. So just distortion into this dynamics with a low boost. You hear all that low signal. It gives you a nice punchy ba 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 on your kick. And then when you want to record everything else, you put C and D on. So this adds reverb, and it takes out the bass out of the signal. That sounds like this. So I tried to make a beat that's not too cluttered or anything, so you can hear the individual sounds. So you can hear it's punchy in the low end, and it's got a nice impactful snare, and you can hear those hi-hats ticking away. Nothing is overlapping too bad on each other's space. Sounds nice. On B, we have, on the B effects bank, the second effects bank on A, we have an EQ into a low-pass filter, and then we have the high-pass filter and the reverb on C and D. That is the exact same as on the first set that I showed you. This EQ is boosting the lows quite a lot, +9. I'm taking out a tiny little bit of low mids because that's where you get a lot of mud. When you are recording a bunch of sounds on top of each other, if they all have low mid in them, eventually that part of the EQ just kind of sounds bleh when it gets really full, and you can't really distinguish things from each other. It sounds muddy and gross. So we're going to take out a little bit of that. We're going to put in a little bit of high mid for clarity, and the highs for that nice crispiness in the top end. And we're boosting it up quite a bit, and the purpose of that is because it's going into this low pass here. This has a rate of 0 with a 63 resonance that can be adjusted to how long you want the kick to be. but this is just adding a bass tone, kind of similar to the 808 tutorial that I made just a little while ago. The cutoff here is 11. This can be moved up or down a little bit, but it should stay really low to get that bass. So when we have just A and B on, we just get a low thud, kind of a more electronic sounding bass. And then when we want to do cymbals and snares, we turn these two on, and it makes for... It separates, once again, all of the cymbals and snares from the bass, which is just down here. This sounds like this, and I'll actually toggle between the two, just so you can hear the difference. So you can hear in both of them, all the things are clear. You can hear all the snare hits and all the little cymbal ticks and all that kind of stuff. Nothing is too loud, nothing is too quiet, and they're separated, but they do sound different, so you just choose which one you want to do to taste, basically. Now, the third set I have to show you is an equalizer going into dynamics. There's a high-pass filter and reverb, just like the previous two. You're going to smack those two on whenever you want to record snares and hi-hats, like I've been saying this whole time. On A, our EQ, very similar to what we did before. Oh, why am I losing focus? That's weird. Okay, focus back. So EQ, similar to before, we have +8 on the low, -3 on low mid, +2 on high mid, +2 on our highs, and we're boosting our level by 14, so we have quite a big boost here. The reason we have such a big boost is because it's into dynamics on dance comp, set to -14. So this is taking our signal and compressing it quite a lot. This will make for a very round, full, compressed dance kind of sound, and that's why it's called dance comp. The high pass, same as it's been before. The reverb, same as it's been before. So kind of the two modes on this thing, just like the last couple of times. You have just A and B on when you're recording your bass. You put on C and D when you want to do everything else. That's the general gist of all of these. That's because that's how I operate and make my drum settings. Different people will do different things. There's no right and wrong here. You just find something that kind of works, and once you find something that works, stick with it for a while, and every now and then go in, change it up, do it different, and try new things, because eventually, if you use the exact same processing on all your drums in like 40 songs, it'll all sound really samey and kind of boring. So, you know, screw around with these. Make a whole bunch of different preferences. If you like an equalizer into compression, or you like distorting into compression, or just distorting and equalizing it, whatever you want to do. Just screw around with it, but make sure to separate the two signals, the bottom end from the top end, using this high-pass filter. That is very key and very clutch. And don't put reverb on your bass kicks. And if, well, you can, but in general, don't do it. It's not the best idea. It kind of can sound muddy and gross. But I'm not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. But anyway, I hope this helps someone. This bit of a longer video, my apologies. But thanks for listening this far. I love everyone that is here. Bye.